Hello there, how are you? Hi. Look what my little brother found. Little Ethan found this in a moving box at my mom's house. And it might not look like much, but this is the camera. This is the Sony DCR PC9 that got my career started. Thanks. This camera came out, and I think in about 2002, and it was pretty revolutionary. The screen here was a touch screen. Whoa, touch screen, way before iPhone. The tape went right here. You could actually manual focus right here. It had this awesome night shot ability right here. It turned everything green. It looked like Desert Storm. Ow, ow, ow! I could do everything that I needed to do on this little camera. Look at all these beautiful scratch marks. I dropped this thing so many times. I bought this camera with my hard-earned money my senior year of college. It was about $1,000, which for me was a lot of money, of course. I was studying broadcast journalism, and I knew that I needed to have my tool to tell stories. In college, my degree was broadcast journalism, which essentially teaches you how to be a dorky news anchor or reporter. No offense to dorky news anchors out there, but it just wasn't my thing. I did an internship at the Denver NBC station, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to make more documentary style content. My senior honors project, I decided to go down to the Dominican Republic. I worked at an orphanage, and I brought this camera to tell the story of my trip. And that was the first thing I really ever filmed in my life. Definitely the first thing I ever edited.
They are brothers, not by blood, but by a common bond.
Put together a little documentary, and bam, I got my honors tassels. And that was a pretty easy way for me to get honors, because usually you have to write really long papers, and I don't really like writing long papers.
Oh!
Fast forward, I graduate college, I go down to Honduras, I live in Honduras for 2.5 years in the Peace Corps. I have this camera the whole time, I document my life there essentially. But the big thing, when I got on my bicycle and rode it home to Colorado. And this camera is how I documented that experience. And when I got home 3 months later, I went through all my footage. I bought my very own iMac, which was like $1,300 at the time. And I edited a short 5-minute teaser thing. And that little teaser video played on the Travel Channel on a show back then called What's Your Trip with that anchor Anthony Zimmern, the bizarre foods guy.
Friend Ryan Van Duzer is back on the ground in this clip, but not for long.
And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be a travel show host. I want to make travel content, and I want to inspire viewers to get up off their couches and do something. And that can be volunteering around the world. It could be just climbing a tree or climbing a mountain. I just wanted people to get psyched about being outside. That really has always been my motto since day one. Get up off your couch.
Get up off that couch, go do something fun, and get out there.
After my little video played on the Travel Channel, I thought, oh, it's gonna be no problem. I'm gonna be a travel show host tomorrow. Wrong. It's a lot harder than that. And I had to go back to very, very day one basics. I started on public access TV here in Boulder, Colorado on channel 54, BTV 54, and I started a show called Out There.
Out there.
And I ran around with this camera and I beat the crap out of it and did all sorts of adventures all over Boulder and the world, filming everything that I was doing.
This is awesome, baby, yeah!
I have not seen this since, I think probably I switched over to digital in 2009 or something, and it's just good to see this guy again. Look how cool it is. I've seen a lot of the world through this viewfinder.
We're in a place called Printer's Alley. Right here, the karaoke is out of this world.
And as long as you're having fun, that's number one. As long as you're having fun, you don't need the best of the best.
There's no cars on the roads, only bikes and fun people having a great time. What's up, Wayne? How you doing, buddy?
So what do I do for a living? I tell stories, and I've been a documentarian, whatever, however you want to call it, documentary filmmaker, TV host, storyteller. I prefer the word storyteller because that's That's essentially what I do. I've worked for Travel Channel, I've been on Discovery Channel, I've worked for my local newspaper, I've worked for tourism boards, I've shot weddings, anything to tell a visual story.
14,255 feet. We are now on the top of Long's Peak, ladies and gentlemen. Near far.
And you're probably wondering, well, what kind of camera do you have now, Ryan? And my camera now is not all that amazing either. It's the camera I'm filming on right now. It's the Sony A6500. It's about this size. Of course, it's more modern, shoots 4K and all that cool stuff. But I've never been a gearhead. I've never been one that needs the best of the best. Probably because I'll just break it. But because when it comes down to it, like I said before, it's all about a story. If you have an engaging story, if you're connecting with your audience, that's what it's all about. You don't need the most expensive stuff. Of course, there is a time and a place for expensive gear. Absolutely. I'm not knocking on that kind of stuff. But for me, I like to travel. I'm a travel journalist. I like to travel small. So all my gear throughout the time has been very small. So small cameras, small microphones, and small tripods as well. I like to be light when I travel.
Oh, that time! Oh, God!
So if you're out there thinking, I want to do what Ryan does, you can do it, I promise. Get yourself a camera, kind of like this, maybe a little bit more modern, and start running around and filming life. And that's really how you get started. The best way to get started is to just start doing it. You will learn on the go. That's essentially what I've done the past 10 years, is I just figure it out as I go. And my old stuff, when I look back at it, I cringe because it's really bad.
Hello and welcome to Out There!
But it's fun to look at that and see where I've come today, and I've definitely made some progress. I don't think I've ever made the perfect video, ever. I've never been like, that is absolute perfection. And I like to keep it that way because it keeps me hungry, keeps me excited to keep on learning and make every single video that I'm making a little bit better than the one before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, get off your couch and get out there. Now it's your turn to get out there. Now get off your couch, that one right there, yep, that one, and come out and play. The weather is beautiful. And stay tuned for more adventures. Bye-bye.
It's like a spaceship. I'm easily entertained, as you can see.